Hi Cancer, welcome to your new moon in Gemini reading for June 6, 2024. New moons begin new cycles, and the direction that this reading is going in is number 3, spirit, intuition and manifestation. Number 3 is the number of the creative principle, right? The Empress, so it's the creative principle itself. There's a very spiritual energy, which is, I think, perfect for Cancer. You have very high intuitive energy, often very psychic. And so it feels to me like you're going to be manifesting something on a deeper level, or you may have intuition about something that's going to happen, like a future potential. So the more you learn to trust your intuition with this card, the more you'll be able to know what's kind of down the road for you. Maybe you're going to get some flashes of insight around this time about what you need to do to create that manifestation that you've been considering. But there's clarity to create this vision of what you want. It's like the energetic ability is real for you. It's a really great card of a powerful manifestation that it's kind of time for you to take seriously at this time. So this can be anything. This can be career, this can be home related, whatever. I think the possibilities are endless. But the 3 really gives you the energy to, the impetus and the energy, the creative principle to actually carry it out. However, at this time it might just be on an intuitive level, or you may just get the insight intuitively as to what you need to do. The first column is where you find yourself at the time of the new moon, or what you are consciously beginning at this time. Nice, there's intuition again. The second center column is you and how you're behaving, how you're acting, how you're feeling, what you're doing. It is your indication here of you. Okay, you're very mental at this time. Interesting. Yeah. And the last column is probable outcome. Once again, it's probable because when we have information, we are sometimes able to make changes. But sometimes we are meant to have the experience to further our growth. It may not seem like it at the time, but in hindsight, if you are a wise person, then it's very possible that you can glean the lesson from it. I'll leave it like that. Okay, so let's look at the first column here, and we are looking at the 3 of Swords and the High Priestess. Okay, well, it's pretty obvious to me that we are separating from something or someone. The 3 of Swords can also be bad weather, but I don't think so. This is the feeling of separation. Maybe you're not separating from somebody. Maybe you have a while ago already, because the 2 of Swords for me makes the cut. But the 3 of Swords is sort of the aftermath, right? How you feel about it. And this can be somebody who's feeling a little bit in the doldrums. Not just a little bit. It's an emotional card. It is just the possibility of feeling separate from other people or other situations. Everybody's out there having a good time, and I'm not. Or I just feel kind of left out of the situation. The High Priestess, well, however, I do want to say this though, and I think this is the most important part of the card. after we have this kind of sadness, after we have the tears, we let them flow, after we let our emotion out, we now have the ability to restructure and renew and rebuild with the Three of Swords. And I think that's where you are right now. Or this is the period where you start to release that and start to rebuild and restructure. I can see that quite clearly with these cards. The High Priestess card for me is what are you going to... It is the structure on which you're going to rebuild. So in this case, it's asking you to rebuild on something that you deem sacred, that you find divine, right? That's what you should restructure and rebuild the situation upon. I mean, let's say that's even just on an emotional level, right? It's kind of like, so the High Priestess is definitely your intuition, but it's more than that for me. It is, so she's holding the Torah, right? And her concept, her visions are built upon the principles of the Torah, because she believes that to be important for her. And I think that's important in this case. So we're looking at a King of Pentacles that we may have been separated from or are separating, or maybe they've just hurt us. That's also possible here. Which can give us the feeling of separation, right? This person is not like me. The King of Pentacles is my Gemini card. And this is somebody who is very, very business oriented. They are the CEO types. They're the people who put their attention on what it is they're busy doing, and everything else kind of comes second. They provide you with financial stability. That's how they would show their love or their affection. They would make sure you had a beautiful home and everything you needed to feel secure and stable. But the emotional side of it may be lacking for the King of Pentacles. These people are square in features. They are the master of their physical reality. So you may look at their forehead or their chin to kind of recognize who these people are. They would be very square. So a nice, firm, square jawline, or even their chin can be square. Certainly their forehead and sometimes their hands. But in any case, other than physical, they are very much involved or busy or focused on what they are trying to achieve, usually business. And these are also people who make small changes to create large changes, right? They make those small moves. They're diligent, they're persistent, and that's what I mean by they're highly, highly focused, and they will get to their goal because they are master of their material world. So this may be somebody that you are dealing with. It can also be you. It can also be you behaving this way. However, you are behaving like the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. So I don't have the feeling. I think this may be somebody else for a lot of you. The Eight of Swords is feeling like your hands are tied, that everything you try and do comes to naught or is ineffectual or ineffective. And this card always says that when you feel... So 8 is a power number, right? You do have 2 8s here. 8 is a power number. So it means that you're giving a lot of power to the struggle at this time. And what that is doing is just digging you deeper into the mire, into the mud. And so this card asks you that when you feel like you cannot make a change, it's important for you to pivot, to important for you to redirect your energy. And perhaps that's what you're busy doing because of the Seven of Pentacles here, because the Seven of Pentacles is sort of the card of, it's a very, it's like editing. It's a re-examination. This is my garden. This is what I've grown up until now. What would I change next time I'm building my garden, right? Next time I'm planting my seeds. What did I like? What didn't I like? There's a very kind of reflective energy here. Well, so I do feel like you are doing that. I think for me it feels like you're taking the time to really re-examine what you have built up until now, whether that's in romantic relationships or physical, financial situations, and restructuring, at least considering at this time, because it does feel like what you've done up until now hasn't brought you what you wanted. You do have harvest. I do see that there, but is it what you wanted? Did it bring you the things that you wanted? Now, this can be very business related here because I have the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles, and another, that's at 3 eights. So you definitely have that powerful energy here. Especially once you redirect your energy. The Eight of Pentacles is focusing, it is pushing aside everything that's kind of trying to take your attention away, and directing it just towards work or towards the thing that you're building at this time. What it is you're trying to, this is a honing your skills, but this person is good at what they do, and so they can just knock it out. It's a lot of work. It's work you like to do normally, and so you're good at it, in other words, and you can just kind of knock it out. But it is kind of pushing away all distraction and just getting the job done. It's a healthy wallet. It's a healthy body. So I really do see you redirecting, editing, and then it's go time. Now, the last column, you have the Devil, which can be codependencies of all kinds, whether that's relationships, whether that's tied to your work, tied to your spouse, tied to, but it's usually very unhealthy because it's codependent, right? It's a codependent energy. It can be substance abuse. It can be that sort of thing. The interesting thing about the Devil card is he has his hand open to you. He shows you what the problem is. There's no denying what it is. It's open. It's out there. You know it. It's just up to you then to take the chains off, to release it. But it is the feeling of being tied to something. However, we have the Eight of Cups there, and so we can be walking away from it. And it may have been something that we enjoyed, but we are releasing it and letting it go. It doesn't hold the same enjoyment anymore. It can be a bit with a heavy heart, but once we do it, again, we are empowering ourselves and we're moving up. Yeah, nice. So the future looks bright. Kids, you have the Star card. This is associated with Aquarius for me. This is associated with Capricorn. So again, that very earthly, dense energy. The future looks bright, for sure. Something that you're doing is under a lucky star. Removing yourself from the situation is under a lucky star, and though it is with a heavy heart, when you start to restructure and rebuild, there's inspired energy here. There's information that can flow to you. And one thing that I think is really important to understand, that's coming up for me with this card for you, is that what is available to other people is also available to you. Whether that's information or help that you need, or whatever it is that you need to restructure your situation upon, the information is there, right? Also, the star card tells me that our experiences are not for us alone. We're all connected, right? We are in a web of connectivity, and what happens to you affects other people, and maybe you don't see it, or maybe you'll never know it or never see it, but everything affects everybody. And so your experience goes into the big pool of experiences, and you don't know who is learning from your mistakes or from the things that you've done, and how you've rectified them. So I think that's a very positive outcome to any difficult situation that you have been dealing with. Now, the High Priestess is definitely intuition. So, and I do feel also with the Star card that it is a card of inspiration. So it's feel like you're being led somewhere. You feel like there's some kind of destination that you're moving towards, and in the future you should get there. What does Spirit want you to know? You have hope. Look with new eyes and create the change that awaits you. So I think that's a very, very positive outcome to a situation that looks a little bit heavy. And it is under a lucky star. And I do see you releasing what is holding you back, or who may be holding you back. Thank you for listening, Cancer. I hope this has been helpful. I'll return in 2 weeks with a full moon reading. Until then, take good care. And again, your viewing is appreciated. Bye for now.